Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of the Red Bull driver career second driver basically for Red Bull, and the aim is to fulfill all of these objectives, for Max to win the WDC, for ourselves to win the Constructors Championships, and as well to finish ahead of all the second drivers. Of course, Unsatisfied did something similar, so I thought I'd kind of match that idea, change a couple things. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, those are all the R&D, and this is obviously the livery if you haven't seen it already. But I'm feeling pretty confident on this challenge. It's going to be a real test. I have put the AI up slightly according to my level. Braking assist is low, and yeah, let's get into it.
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for the inaugural round of the 2022 Formula One World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that, because the new era of Formula One has arrived. And with it, the eagerly anticipated new car regulations, which have been designed to help promote better racing. With clean sculpted lines, swooping rear and front wings, which should allow cars to follow each other more closely, new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres, the return of ground effect, and a reduction of aerodynamic physical adornments, the new cars look strikingly different, all while improving safety and pushing the limit of technical ingenuity. So then, which teams have interpreted the rules most effectively, and which drivers will adapt to their new car the quickest, leading the charge against the rest of the pack? Only time will tell. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin, but for now, from us, that's your...
So guys, this is the yeah, this is it basically. So let's jump straight into quali. Quali-wise, I've always been quite strong around Bahrain, so I was feeling pretty confident, to say the least. And yeah, our first run here, up against quite a few good drivers. We were actually held up in a little bit of traffic during this lap, as you can see here, by Fernando Alonso, who was just ahead. He did block us through a little bit of corners, but also I could say he also gave us a little bit of a tow through the corners, so ultimately being behind him actually benefited us a little bit. I thought it would actually cost us. It didn't cost us as much as I thought, so being behind Fernando Alonso wasn't really something bad. And as you can see, going towards the end of this lap here, reaching the 1 minute mark of the lap, yeah, not doing too bad right here, in the DRS range of him. On some of the straights I was using his slipstream to help as well, but overall we were looking quite good here around this last penultimate corner and going on to the ultimate corner here in Bahrain. But yeah, I was pretty happy with this lap, all things considered. Obviously I could improve, but yeah, I was pretty content with the lap. We'll take it, we'll move on. It wasn't obviously the best of laps, but it was pole, it was ahead of Verstappen, and we would be third, all things considered, 7/10 of the pace. But Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton were both down in the dumps. I thought we'd be fine.
Finished, it's time to remind
We weren't
ourselves once
fine.
again of our top three: Sainz, Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc.
Max Verstappen second, ourselves in 14th, so I mean, I know the AI are quite strong, but I think I was quite surprised.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, and Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Joe, Lando Norris, the engineer, Albon, Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. So here we are in 2022 at the start of another Formula One World Championship. It all begins here, the start of the next generation of Formula One. With the end of the second turbocharged era, a new dawn begins. New regulations have been brought in to promote better racing, with the two big standout changes being the wheel size increase and the aerodynamics on the car itself. But will this result in us having a repeat fight for the Driver Championship? Will Mercedes retain their Constructors' title? We have lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Let's hope for some good racing today as well. We can't know at this point how competitive the teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody's able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checkered flag.
Alright, so for the strategy, I decided to go soft for about 5 laps and then go on to the mediums. My reason for this is basically I'm hoping other people's cold tyres really affect them, so that when we can attack some of the front runners on our warmed up mediums, it should pay off. But anyway, this is my first time ever doing a grid slot, so hopefully it goes well. Trying to slow down the car, making sure we don't crash into Guan Yu Zhou in the meantime. What can we get? It will be a 0.8. Pretty decent. We could have got it a little bit better, but we'll have to take it here. As anyway, lining up for the start of this Grand Prix at Bahrain. Can we get the perfect start here off the start restart? Well, it's 5 red lights for the Bahrain GP and we are underway. And a fantastic start that is here up against Guan Yu Zhou and Kevin Magnussen here. Yeah, really good. Schumacher tries to block us off a little. We absolutely send it though, ahead of the Haas, ahead of Bottas. We can't quite get it around Ocon and Gasly, but a fantastic job there. And from P14 to P9, well, in the space of a corner, that is some very good overtaking by us. And we absolutely send it here on Pierre Gasly. And yeah, fantastic from us there. That's another former Red Bull teammate of Max Verstappen who we're trying to outperform. Yeah, around the outside of Pierre Gasly, beautiful overtake. Here we are then, going on to lap 2 here on Esteban Ocon. And looking to absolutely send it here with the ERS. No DRS just yet, but we send it, and it is a successful send. We get the Alpine, and yeah, really good overtake that is from us. Now, Sainz actually had a mechanical issue here, and shortly, well, in a couple seconds actually, you'll see yellow flags are out, and Sainz is going very slowly. He didn't actually retire, Carlos Sainz. He was just going very slowly, and he would end up towards the back of the grid after all that, so I'm not sure what actually happened to him. Here we are then sending it on Lewis Hamilton though. Could we make a move here? We do make a move, and that is P5 then, so we've had a bit of luck here, but here goes Lewis Hamilton round our inside there. We try and go around the outside, and we just about make it work, but going side by side with Sir Lewis Hamilton, he gets a little bit better of an exit than us. That Merc still having good straight line speed. We send it where we shouldn't probably be sending it around there. A bit of contact. I put my hands up though, probably my fault. But we'll take the position anyway from Lewis, and that will be P5 now. Now, coming in for our pit stop, slowing down the car nicely to make sure we don't get a penalty. And coming into the pits, hoping for an optimal here. What will we get? It is going to be an optimal 0.2. And let's see what the team can do. No pit stop errors for us this time. And a fantastic job by us. And as you guys will see in a couple seconds now, the cold tyres going into the first corner are quite bad. We actually lock up going into turn 1. They're that bad. But yeah, very good pit stop by us. Obviously Red Bull known for their great pit stops. But yeah, here we go then. And as you can see, we lock up there. And I can't get the car quite turned around the way we want. But here we go then. Lap 6 going on to 7. Everybody is starting to pit now. And out comes Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. We just get out ahead of Lewis and just behind Alonso. So I wouldn't say we lost or gained anything really during the pits in the matter of time. But I think, as you guys can see, our tyres have warmed up very nicely here compared to Fernando Alonso, who I'd argue probably has the colder side of his tyres. And here we go then, lap 8. We overtake a bunch of cars as they pit, but here we go then, get to send it on Fernando for P4, and a fantastic job by us. He tries to get us on the switchback, but we defend him like a lion, like Max Verstappen would. And that is us into P4. Fernando tries to come back at us here, but we cover off quite nicely. And yeah, we do a pretty decent job. But here we go then, going on to lap 9. Here we go on George Russell, who again pitted, I think, a little later than us. And we're going to absolutely send it here on Russell, we sent it on his teammate Lewis Hamilton. And that's a fantastic overtake on the DRS as soon as we can. And we managed to defend off Russell here. And the team really loving it here. But here we go then, on to the last lap. We did gain quite a lot of time on the Mercedes. Hamilton also overtaking Fernando. But unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the Red Bull and the Ferraris who were ahead. I think they just had too much pace for us to handle. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap, wins the race, but Charles Leclerc actually steals it away from him. That's crucial points for the Ferrari, but we are very, very happy here. That is a massive P3 from P14. We'll take that.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here at Sakir. And rightly so, a brilliant effort from the whole team. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. And after this, now leads the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the engineer. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.